And it's raising questions now on the use of force by local police. Video footage shows Bonginkosi Biyase being manhandled by police. The EMPD says it's investigating the matter. For more, let's chat to independent crime analyst, that's Dr Chris de Kok. He joins us now on the line from Johannesburg. Good afternoon, Doctor, and thank you so much for your time on the SABC News Desk.
Hello?
Chris, you're live on air. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Welcome to the SABC News Desk, Chris. Thank you so much for your time. I just want to start by asking you, how do our police departments codify what is necessary or appropriate or excessive use of force by their officers when they're at this stage of setting down policy that all officers have to adhere to?
Well, I'm certain that there's policies, and I'm certain that as part of their training, they are trained how to arrest a person, with what force is necessary, if any, because I think you should use minimum force in arresting a person. But there's many other factors that determine that these type of things happen, that happened in this case. And, for example, a few days ago or last week in Cape Town, we had a similar situation with a well-known cyclist. Now, one of the factors is if the person that get arrested resists, if there is a resistance, if that person put up a fight, then clearly it will need more violence or more force from the police, the Metro Police, or any law enforcing officer to arrest that person. Then also, if the person which get arrested are not only fighting and resisting, but also are cursing the officers and, really go to the limits, say, for example, racial slur or that type of thing, that can then also trigger the officers to use too much force. On the side of the officers, if they are not trained how to and they don't know the law and they know the policy, they can go overboard in that situation. Also,
Chris, continue.
In a situation where where they start to see themselves as not only as the police or the law enforcement officer, but also start to see themselves as the judge and the executioner. You see, where law enforcement officers are only there, you see something is going wrong, I have to arrest this person, or we have to arrest this person, and then use the necessary minimum force to arrest the person, and then the law will take its own course. But it seems in South Africa sometimes, because of all our crime and because of all maybe the criticism of the police service and so on, we find that they use excessive force and they start to see themselves as not only law enforcement but as the judge and the executioner.
Chris, you've raised a pertinent point when it comes to police officer training in our country at this juncture, or the time that they actually spent at the academy. I just want to ask, how are police officers actually taught at that stage what is appropriate use of force according to the law and how to apply that? Are we seeing a lot of scenario-based training? How are they sensitized around appropriate use of force?
Yeah, that's difficult for me to answer, but I assume that in their training, they are, and even in their retraining, because, it's not only a once-off training. They have got lectures at station level and at local level. They've got some lectures all the time, that they are always sensitized that they should at all times use minimum force, and that even if the person resists, they should be trained how to handle a person which is quite aggressive. And they should also handle, police officers should always be trained that people may call you anything. They may use racial slur. They may do any of those things, but you should at all of that cases, you should just behave yourself as a officer. I would even say an officer and a gentleman. So that is very important. And then also, a police service can become a little bit, there can be a feeling of powerlessness, that they feel, police officers can start to feel that, well, they don't have any power. Everybody is criticizing them. They don't have much success. And then that can also lead to a situation where they use excessive force. I think also, sometimes we have a few cases like the one last week in Cape Town, and then we have this case now, and we had a few other cases the previous week. I think at the beginning of in December, there was also a case of a lady in Centurion, which was arrested there and manhandled. And in all of these cases, then, it landed up in the news. And then it seems that this thing is increasing. If you go and look at real figures, it may actually be on the increase or on the decrease. We don't know.
Mm-hmm. And you're mentioning moments in time or previous cases where the force that police actually use in different cases, of course, comes into sharp focus. But what lessons can South African police services take forward from this, Chris?
I haven't heard that last part.
What lessons can the SAPS take forward, going forward? What lessons can they draw from this particular case, Chris?
I really think the lessons that they can learn from this is that they constantly, at a station level, should train and retrain and, make aware of each police officer that they should always behave in accordance with the law and with the regulations, and that they should apply that. And whatever duress they work under, whatever what any person say to them should not at all make a difference. They should always use minimum force objectively, arrest the person, and let the law take its course. Otherwise, what is going to happen to them, unfortunately, is that these members, in the end, will lose their job.
Independent crime analyst there, Dr Chris de Kok, joining us on the line from Johannesburg. Thank you so much, Doctor, for your time on the SABC News Desk.